Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about forgiveness and the power of forgiveness and really why you should forgive, and then something that goes beyond just forgiving someone and also forgiving yourself. So that's what I want to discuss today. But before we get into today's discussion, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please just take a moment and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell, and don't forget to share and hit the like button. Those two things help the channel grow, so I'll appreciate it if you do that as well. And please leave your comments down below. So I want to talk about forgiveness. Now, when you forgive someone, it can set them free, right? And when you tell someone, I forgive you for what you said or for what you done, whatever the situation is, but when you forgive someone, it has the power in being able to set the person free, because a lot of times people will live with that guilt that they're walking around with because they know that they've done something, and so the guilt, the shame, the whatever they're living with, because they know they hurt you or someone that you loved or whatever the situation is. And so when you tell them that, I forgive you, it has a powerful force in that it's able to let that person, be able to move beyond whatever the circumstances of the situation is and be able to live more free, because sometimes that really does hold people back when people are living with guilt, because of, again, because of things they've done. It can really hold people back. Guilt can hold you back. And so when you free someone from guilt, one way of doing that is by telling them that you forgive them. Then you empower this person to be able to move forward with their life, right? That's one part of it. Now, the second part to that is that when you forgive someone for something that they've done to you, right? The other thing that happens is that you have also freed yourself as well. So you've freed yourself because now you've given yourself the power to move on. You've now empowered yourself. So you do that because you have now shredded whatever it is baggage that you've been carrying around, right? The disgust, the anger, the whatever it is, the disappointment, whatever it is that you were carrying because of the interaction and because of the fact that this person treated you a certain way. And when you tell them, okay, now you're free to go, I forgive you. When you do that, you're not just doing it for them, but you're also doing it for yourself. And I think even more importantly, because it's someone who hurt you, you're doing it for yourself big time. 10 times over, you're doing it more for yourself in a lot of ways, right? Because you are saying, I am no longer going to let whatever the situation or the circumstance is hold me back. I am now empowering myself to look beyond whatever it is that happened, and I'm going to take myself forward, you know, and into this new, into the new journey or whatever, the new path that you've paved or carved for yourself as you're moving forward with your life. So when you forgive, it's not just for them, it's also for you, right? That's the second part that I want to talk about. Now, the next thing that I want to discuss is, look, because you have forgiven someone, it doesn't mean that you still have to be in their life, right? Because you have forgiven someone, it doesn't mean that you still have to be in that person's life. Look, I can forgive you, but I can also lose your address or lose your phone number or lose your whatever the case is, because there's a reason why I'm forgiving you, right? Especially if it's something really serious. And I'm saying that I am now empowering myself to move beyond that situation. So if it's something that's serious and I'm forgiving you for it, it doesn't mean that I still have to have you in my life. And so forgiving doesn't mean that the person still maintains a presence in your life. Forgiving means that you have decided that mentally you're going to move beyond a certain situation. But by moving beyond that certain situation and freeing yourself, one good thing to do is also sometimes it's just to separate yourself from those people or that person, right? So when you forgive, you can also give yourself the opportunity to actually move on, to move beyond whatever the situation or the circumstance is. So as I said, you're not just forgiving for them, you're also forgiving for yourself. And then that third thing is you are moving on. So you forgive the person, but you don't have to have them in your life, right? Forgiving doesn't mean that that I must still maintain some kind of whatever in your presence, or you must still be in my presence. Because the thing is, it's one thing that I've forgiven you for it, but I also know who you are, which is why I don't want you in my life. So I've forgiven you for it, but I also know who you are, and I don't want you in my life. So when you forgive and you free yourself and you've moved beyond all that kind of stuff, the next step is to then say, okay, yes, I've forgiven you, but you could also lose my number and I'll lose yours, because go out, be happy, be good, be whatever. But I also know who you are, and I don't need you in my life. And so I'm setting you free by forgiving you. I'm also removing you from my existence, from my space. So it's a powerful thing. It's work, because some people just don't deserve to be in your life, even though you have forgiven them, even though you've decided to move beyond the circumstance. Some people just don't deserve to be in your life. So sometimes you have to forgive and move on, which means you no longer have those people in your life, so that you can be happy and not always having to look over your shoulder and wonder what they're going to do or what they're going to say again, and not being able to live in that type of toxic relationship or vacuum, a toxic vacuum, a toxic relationship, and be in that type of situation. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. So thank you very much for taking the time. Let me know if you've been in a situation where you forgive and moved on. Leave it in the comments down below. Let us hear from you. Right. So as I've said, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your post notification. Also, don't forget to share and hit the like button. Those two things help the channel grow, and so I'll appreciate it if you do that. And then when you get a chance, please go back and check out my other content. I got a lot more content there for you to check out. So until next time, thank you very much for taking the time to watch. Goodbye. Peace.